Hey guys, welcome back. We are in my little plant nook, and that's because I just finished working out at the gym and I was doing some plant chores and I was like, you know what, you haven't talked about semi-hydro since you started YouTube, so let's talk about semi-hydro and how it's been doing for me and if I would recommend it to anybody else. So let's get into it. So the big question, do I like semi-hydro and would I recommend it? Yes I do. I absolutely recommend semi-hydro. This plant right over here was an import and I've had it for 9 months and it's finally pushed off a new leaf, and check out the roots on this bad boy. I love semi-hydro because I can see how well the plant is doing. I like being able to monitor the roots. I like being able to see how much water is required so that I'm not giving it too much water and then you run the risk of overwatering your plants and killing it. Yeah, the fungus gnats is like the whole reason why I love semi-hydro, so love it. Okay, so let's talk about semi-hydro and what substrates I've been using. Now, since my earlier videos, my semi-hydro substrates have evolved to a combination of Leca, perlite, pumice, ponds, orchiata, whatever I'm feeling that day or whatever it is that I have in my my cabinet upstairs. But this particular Thai constellation has more pumice and perlite and a touch of Leca, whereas this plant over here, my gloriosum round form, has a mixture of everything. It has ponds, orchiata bark in it, and that's just because I prefer to add a little bit of smaller size substrates. That way it can get into like the nook and crannies of the roots. Like these roots are very fine and very small, so when you add ponds or something like that to the mix, it'll actually like fill the air pockets. So now that the substrates are out of the way, I really want to talk about fertilizing your plants. Now, when you are using an inorganic substrate, you have to fertilize your plant, otherwise it will not grow. These inorganic substrates do not provide any nutrients in any way, so please remember to fertilize. Now, what I do want to mention to you is when you have inorganic substrates that are in actually any vessel, I find that the buildup is more in a closed vessel than a self-watering vessel. But my point is sometimes you can get mineral and nutrient buildup, and what that actually looks like is, I'll just put this down for a moment. It's going to look something like this. You're gonna have these little white mineral buildup on your substrate, and this is going to prevent your plants from absorbing the water and nutrients that it needs, because it's not able to get any water because this is blocking it. So you have to be mindful and flush your plants. Now, you're probably wondering, how are you even flushing anything in a vessel like this? Well, I'm gonna show you. So if you have a self-watering pot, all you have to do is just take it out and put it under the sink and just let the water run through. But if you are using a vase like I am and there's no drainage holes, you're gonna have to get a little bit creative. So what I actually like to do is I will fill up my watering can with water and I'll actually add some hydrogen peroxide. And the reason for that is because I believe that the hydrogen peroxide is also going to help break off the mineral buildup as well as algae. Now, if you don't already know, sometimes your substrates can actually develop algae if it's sitting very close to the light. So I use hydrogen peroxide to help remove the algae as much as possible, and I'll let it sit for 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, I'll take it over to the sink and empty out the water. And please be mindful when you're dumping out the water that you're being very careful not to let the substrates fall into the sink and clog the drain, because that's going to be a disaster later. I don't have any tips and tricks as to how to fix your sink, so just be mindful. So when you're done with that, all you have to do now is just water your plant. So this Gloriosum over here actually received Maxi Grow, and I do fill it up to right about here. Now, disclaimer guys, I just need you guys to be aware that my plants have already been acclimated and they have water roots. So I'm comfortable leaving a little bit more of a water reservoir in the container, as opposed to if it is just starting to get water roots. And the reason for that is because if you still have soil roots and you're giving it too much water, you're gonna run the risk of having root rot, and I don't want to be responsible for that. So what I would recommend is when your plant is actually sitting in water for 10 minutes, the roots are very hydrated. So you can fill the water back up to here and then walk away for like an hour or so. And if the water reservoir hasn't moved at all, that means that there's too much water and the plant doesn't need that much water. So go ahead and dump some of that water out to prevent overwatering your plant. I hope that makes sense. But that's what I've been doing. It seems to be a little bit high maintenance, but they're worth it. I mean, look at her. She's so cute. And a new leaf on the way. So that's how I take care of my plants that are in semi-hydro. I hope you guys found this video informative. And if you like videos like this, please hit the subscribe button and drop a comment down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.